What if the very silence you fear is not an empty space, but a sacred chamber where the most important conversation of your life is being held? You know the feeling, that cold, hollow space where their presence used to be, which now seems to echo only with the ghost of their laughter and the terrifying question, what if this time they don't come back? It's a fear that can clench your heart in the middle of the most ordinary day, turning a memory into a premonition of permanent loss. We've been taught that distance is a problem to be solved, that silence is a void to be filled with our anxious thoughts. But what if we've been reading the map all wrong? What if this separation isn't a deviation from your path, but the path itself, a deliberate, soul-level orchestration more profound than any temporary togetherness could ever be? This ache you carry isn't a sign of failure. It's the evidence of a bond so real it has its own gravity, and the fear of losing it is simply the shadow side of a love that is, in truth, utterly unlosable. The journey we're about to take doesn't just soothe the surface of that fear. It plunges into its depths, inviting you to see this entire phase not as a punishment, but as a sacred and intelligent design, where you are both the student and the lesson, the seeker and the destination. Let's explore why the space between you might be the most important part of the connection itself. Let's be real for a moment. When the silence descends and the connection you thought was unbreakable feels like it's been severed by some cosmic oversight, the first and only story your pain wants to tell is one of abandonment. It's a gut-wrenching, floor-dropping out from under you narrative. They left. I have been left. And in the echo chamber of that pain, a terrifying question takes root. What if they never come back? What if I told you that story, as compelling as it is a lie? A beautifully crafted, exquisitely painful illusion, orchestrated by the part of you that only understands possession and permanence in the physical realm, the ego. And to unravel this, we must step into a grander, more terrifying, and ultimately more liberating truth. You didn't just meet your twin flame by chance. You signed up for this, both of you, before you took your first breath in this lifetime, in the quiet council of your soul. You sat with this other part of you, this twin flame, and you looked at the map of the life to come. You saw the peaks of ecstatic union, yes, but you also saw the valleys. Specifically, you saw this valley, this separation, and with the courage that only a soul can possess, you both pointed to this very moment and said, here, this is where we need to be, apart to become who we are meant to be. Think of it not as a breakup, but as the most intense, postgraduate level curriculum your soul has ever enrolled in. You are in one classroom, and they are in another. The subject, your most profound, core-level healing. The lessons are different for each of you, tailored to your specific soul's karmic debts and evolutionary needs. Your classroom might be teaching you radical self-worth, showing you that you are complete even without the reflection of their love. Theirs might be about confronting emotional availability or healing a lineage of broken promises. Now, imagine if, in the middle of your most important final exam, the one where you're finally learning to love yourself, your twin flame burst through the door, all light and love and distraction. It would feel good for a moment a beautiful relief, but it would shatter the sacred container of your learning. You'd fail the exam. You'd miss the lesson your soul incarnated to master. This separation, this silence, it is not a punishment. It is a period of dedicated focus. It is the universe's way of giving you both the space and the quiet, the brutal, aching quiet, to do your own homework without cheating off each other's papers. The fear of losing them is the ego's panic at being asked to stand on its own 2 feet without its favorite crutch. But your soul is sitting in that classroom, scribbling away, doing the deep work, trusting that in another room, another part of the same whole is doing the very same thing. This is the sacred contract. It's a binding agreement made not in ink, but in light. It reframes everything. Their leaving was not a breach of contract. It was the fulfillment of a clause you both agreed to. When you understand this, the energy shifts from one of desperate clinging and victimhood to one of respectful, albeit painful, honoring. You stop trying to telepathically yank them out of their classroom, and instead you send them a wave of supportive energy. I hope you're acing your tests in there, and you turn back to your own. It's the ultimate act of trahad. Trust in them. Trust in the process. But most of all, trust in the wisdom of your own soul that designed this brutal, beautiful, and perfectly inconvenient curriculum for your ultimate liberation. And the most fascinating part, the coursework in your individual classroom is precisely what prepares you for the final exam. The art of holding a frequency so high, so whole, that it becomes the very magnet for a reunion that is no longer based on need, but on divine, co-creative power. But that beautiful soul is a conversation for another time. So you understand the contract now. You're sitting in your classroom, doing the homework. But let's be honest, some days the silence is so loud, it vibrates in your teeth. The fear still creeps in, a cold fog around your heart, whispering the old lies of lack and love. What do you do with that? How do you not just understand it, but disarm it? You stop trying to fight the fog and you become the sun. This is where theory becomes alchemy. This is the secret, rarely spoken of because it requires a level of personal responsibility that is both terrifying and utterly empowering. Most people spend the separation phase in a state of energetic begging. Their every thought, every meditation, every tear is a message beamed out into the universe. Come back, I miss you, I need you. Without you, I am incomplete. It's a perfectly human prayer, and it's the absolute worst frequency to broadcast if you desire harmonious union. Think of the cosmos as a vast, intelligent, and obedient radio station. Your emotional and energetic state is your broadcast signal. Right now, if you're steeped in the fear of loss, you are broadcasting on the frequency of lack FM, static, desperation, and the aching sound of an empty room. And the universe, in its infinite wisdom, will simply keep you company in that empty room. It will mirror your signal back to you. More silence, more distance, more to fear. Now, what if you could change the station? This isn't about positive thinking. This is about energetic integrity. It's the radical practice of holding the frequency of union within your own being before it manifests physically. You are not pretending they are there. You are not building a fantasy in your head. you are doing something far more potent. You are generating the essence of what the connection feels like at its absolute best. Peace, security, playful banter, deep respect, unconditional love, and you're generating it from within yourself, for yourself. It's the difference between sitting in a dark room, praying for someone to bring you a candle, and realizing you have a light switch right next to you. You are the light. Here's how it works. In the messy reality of your Tuesday afternoon, the fear hits. Your stomach clenches. The mind race begins. What are they doing? Do they miss me? What if they've moved on? This is the critical moment, the choice point. Instead of falling down that rabbit hole, you pause. You take a breath that feels impossibly deep, and you make a conscious, almost rebellious decision. You say to yourself, okay, this fear is here. I feel it. I honor it. But I will not let it dictate my broadcast. Then you actively choose a new feeling. You reach for the memory of the feeling of union, not the person, but the quality of the connection. That feeling of being utterly seen and yet completely free. That profound safety, that joy. And you close your eyes and you generate that feeling in your heart. Right now, in your living room, alone. You are not doing this for them. You are doing this for you. To feel whole, to feel sane, to feel good. You are, in that moment, becoming a walking, talking, breathing embodiment of the very love you seek. You are no longer a receiver, desperately trying to get a signal. You have become the broadcast tower, and the universe, that obedient radio station, has no choice but to respond to your new, powerful, coherent signal. It starts to arrange circumstances, synchronicities, and internal shifts within your twin flame to mirror back this wholeness. You stop attracting lessons of lack and start magnetizing opportunities for aligned union. You are quite literally calling a different reality into being by becoming a vibrational match for it. This isn't manifesting a person like a puppet. It's aligning with the spiritual truth that you are already one, and acting, feeling as if that truth is your present reality. It's the most powerful work you will ever do, and it begs the question, what happens to the very fabric of your journey when you stop waiting for the miracle and realize you've been the miracle all along? But that, dear soul, is when the real magic begins to dance. So here you are, standing at the edge of this new understanding. The raw, jagged fear of loss hasn't just been soothed with a platitude. It's been handed back to you as a tool, as sacred raw material. And you realize something now, something that changes everything. This separation was never a test of your ability to endure pain. It was an invitation to become an architect of your own soul. Think of the most profound cathedral you've ever seen, either in life or in a dream. Its vaulted ceilings, its stained glass that turns ordinary light into divine narrative, its foundation that has held fast for centuries. That cathedral wasn't built around the scaffolding. The scaffolding was a temporary, necessary structure to allow the creation of something eternal. Your fear, your longing, this entire painful separation phase, this is your scaffolding. It is not the building. It is the temporary support system for the construction of a consciousness so whole, so resilient, and so inherently joyful that it can house the entirety of this divine connection without crumbling under its weight. You've been worried about losing a person when the entire universe has been conspiring to help you find a dimension, a frequency of being within yourself where loss is an impossibility. Because how can you lose what you are? You are not two separate puzzles, pieces desperately trying to find the other. You are two master artists, each given a vast empty canvas and the same instruction: paint the truth of us. And you must work in separate studios, without looking, trusting that every stroke of your individual healing, every color of your personal joy, every line of your hard-won boundaries is mysteriously, inevitably creating a single, coherent masterpiece. The fear of losing them was the final, fierce ghost of the old you. The you that believed love was something outside of yourself, to be acquired, held onto, and potentially dropped. That ghost has served its purpose. It showed you where you were still tender, where the old bricks of unworthiness needed to be chiseled out and replaced with the marble of self-reverence. Now you know. The path forward isn't about waiting for a homecoming. It's about realizing you are the homeland. Every time you choose peace over panic, every time you generate joy from the well of your own spirit, every time you honor your solitude as sacred preparation, you are not just coping with separation. You are sending out a seismic pulse of wholeness that rearranges the spiritual landscape between you. You are building a bridge from your side, not out of desperate need, but from the overflowing abundance of what you have cultivated within your own borders. And the most beautiful, quiet secret of all is this: when you finally stop looking for them in the physical world and start recognizing them in the profound peace of your own presence, you have already found the heart of the connection. The reunion, whenever and however it graces your life, will simply be the external world catching up to the internal reality you have already mastered. It will be the echo, finally audible to your earthly ears, of a song you never stopped singing within your own soul. The fear is gone, not because you were promised a specific outcome, but because you finally heard the whisper you were meant to hear all along. The journey was never about finding them. It was about becoming the kind of being for whom such a love is not a destination, but a natural, breathing, and utterly fearless state of existence. And that beautiful soul is a truth that no distance can ever touch.